Good morning, LL. Not audible. Other than on. Hello. Good morning, LL. LL. Good morning, LL. Am I audible?
I think, ma'am, she can't hear. I think so, ma'am.
Can you able to hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, LL.
Yeah, sorry for the confusion actually. Yeah, let me share my screen first.
Okay. I welcome Ms. C. LLRC from Arizona for our faculty development program. The title Harnessing Big Data Analytics to Optimize Urban Planning in Smart Cities. Welcome, LL.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. I hope you can all see my screen and also
Yes.
hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Actually, let me introduce myself. My name is Erila Chinnapayan. I'm basically from Tamil Nadu, Chennai, and now in USA, just for work purpose. So I have completed my Masters of Engineering in Computer Science in PSG College of Technology, Coimbatore. And I have started my career as a lecturer first, where Lata ma'am was my colleague and my friend. And I've been in the academic for more than 8 years. Then later on, due to family commitment, I went to Malaysia. Then I have started my career again in IT industry in 2015. So I have 10 years of experience. And from 2015 onwards, I'm into big data. Actually, I'm the one who's dealing with the data actually. So that's all about me. And the today's topic is harnessing big data analytics to optimize urban planning in smart cities. So it's such a huge, big title. So the name itself says it's a big title. So we just go and in depth, not into the in depth, just basic concepts of what is big data and what is big data analytics and how are we going to use it to implement the smart cities. So if possible, it would be an interactive session. So whoever is willing to answer or to willing to share your thoughts, please do it. Okay. So let's begin with what is a big data. So first of all, what is data? Can anyone say what is data? Okay.
Collection of information.
Yeah.
Collection of
Thank you,
information.
Satish. Thank you. Thank you so much. You are the first one for answering my questions. Thank you so much. Okay. So data is nothing but an information. It's a collection of information. So which would get a meaningful impact of what you're saying. So what is big data? So the name itself is saying it's a collection of huge volume of data. It's not the data size is big. It's not the letters are big. It's not like that. It's a collection of huge volume of data. So volume in the sense, the capacity of data, not only the capacity, there are various factors that contributes to what is big data. So we are going to see what is big data, what are the characteristics, how can we define those big data, and where are we in this world currently, in current scenario, where are we using these big data in our day-to-day life, and how the big data plays a vital role in our day-to-day life. That we are going to see in this big data topic. The next one is analytics in big data. We have big data, we have data. What are we going to do with that? How can we make use of those big data to improve the quality of our life? So that is done by analytics in big data. It's nothing but just suppose we are going to buy a telephone. What will we do? So the basic function of the telephone is only to make calls and to receive calls. In later years, then what happened? We'll be using this big telephone for every hour. I mean, not even in 24 hours of a day in a life, almost 6 hours of day we are spending with the mobile phones, either to search some information or to see some videos, audios, or something. So all these things, how do? We are analyzing what are the capabilities of those mobile phones doing. So if we have any object or anything, we have to check what can we do with that object. What are the capabilities? What are the features inside it? How can we get benefit out of it? So all these things is done by analysis in big data. So we have huge volume of data in big data, but how do we get benefit out of it? That is done by analytics in big data. So in analytics in big data, we are going to see how do we analyze those big data and what are the benefits of those analysis and what are the different tools currently we are using right now in our day-to-day life, and all those things we can talk in this analytics and big data. Next one is urbanization. So we have big data analytics, harnessing big data analytics, that is making use of big data analytics to optimize urban. What is urban? And we might have heard the word like urban and rural. So what is urban? So urban is nothing but just a city. It's why do we go for a city? First of all, for example, people here are coming from various places, like not only they are based out of Chennai or not only based out of the place where you are in. So you're coming far away from that place to this place just to acquire your educations or for employment or something. So this is movement of one place to another place just to acquire something. So that is called urbanization. That is migration. We can say that like migration. We are migrating for one place to another place on a purpose. So that is urbanization. And what are smart cities? Maybe we are in the smart cities, or partly in the smart cities world. So what are smart cities? How this digital world is our effort in bringing up the day-to-day life. So those we are going to discuss with the smart cities. And finally, how we are going to use those smart cities and how we are going to use these analytics and big data to implement those smart cities. And that is what our topic is, using big data analytics to improve our urban planning in smart cities. Okay. So as I said, first begins with the big data. So what is big data? So the data which is huge in volume. So how can we get all those data first? So as Satish said, so data is nothing but an information. So we have plenty of informations. Each and every second we are getting some informations when you are into the digital device. For example, in Google. So if you type anything, it will give, we don't be able to imagine, like it will give a plenty of information. So those informations, where will it get stored? For example, with the advent of internet, we are using the internet in the mobile phones, tablets, iPhones, iPads, personal computers or computers, supercomputers, wherever. So these are the some of the, for example, Google, it's a search machine, and this is a Facebook, and this is Wi-Fi. So all these are some of the apps that people are nowadays using day-to-day life, so that the volume of data is getting increased each and every second through social media, through web search, or through some applications, or through some enterprise companies, they are using it for some other purpose. So these are the different apps that we are using in our mobile phones. It's just an example how we are increasing the data in day-to-day life. So through social medias and everything, how the data is getting increased, because every 60 seconds we are spending time, the people are spending time on all these apps maximum. So these are the places where we are creating data online. For example, we are just sending some text through SMS or through WhatsApp or something. So for every 60 seconds, 16 million texts are transferred around the world. Similarly with the tweets, Instagram, the shopping with Amazon, what the photos that we are shared in our Instagram, and also the Google for searching some information. And we are sending some mails to the officials or to through persons or something. So all these are the amount of 4.316 million. And these are the numbers. It's a very big number that we are creating data in every 60 seconds. So as we know, as each and every second, the data is getting increased exponentially. So this bar chart shows how many users of internet in the worldwide. That starts from 2005 to 2024. This is in millions actually. So in 2005, it was only around 1023 million. So the people that are using internet is only this much. But you see the growth. See, this is starting from, and it is going exponentially, not like steadily, it is growing exponentially. So now 5,500, so 5.5 million people are using internet in day-to-day life. So what will happen if we use the internet? Automatically the data will get generated. Automatically, for example, if each person, if they are using, if they are a social media person or someone, they will post photos like 50 or 100 in a day, or they will post the videos, or they will post some screenshots or something. So all these things from a single person, it will tend to increase the growth of data exponentially. Consider for the total populations around the world. The total population is like 8 billion. So if 8 billion, not everyone is going to use, but majority, 60% of the world population they are using internet. So you just imagine how the data is getting increased. See, in 2010, it starts with 2 zettabytes. Zettabytes are, you know how many zeros in the zettabytes? It's 10 power 21. So 1 zettabyte is 10 power 21 bytes. Then imagine how 181 zettabytes. So currently, the recent status shows that in 2025, you might be having 181 zettabytes of data. So what these data do? So we are having a huge volume of data. As I said, big data is the huge volume of data. Not only volume, we'll see the rest in next. So it's a huge volume of data. About 181 zettabytes of data are getting generated this year. This is one of the world statistics. So this is our world population. This is 8 billion. About in 8 billion, 5.16 billion, they're using internet. And how many populations? About 64.4% of entire population, they are using internet for any purpose. And in this 1 year itself, for each year, it is getting increased almost by 2%. For this year, it is 64. Next year, the 2% of another 2% from the 64.4. So, and this is for male and this is for female statistics. And how many hours we are spending approximately, even if you go and check in your mobile phone, how many hours you have spent on which applications. So they might see if you are a phone persons, then at least 7 hours a day. So 7 hours we are spending time on the internet and we are searching data or something. So this will drastically increase the data in some other word. So without internet, we are not going to do anything. So this one is internet usage. So as we are using internet in our day-to-day life through IoT devices or through autonomous devices or through mobile phones, what it will do, we are going to make use of any of the data here. It would be a Word format, or it would be a XML format, or a config file, or a image, or any log files, or the PDF, or any audio files. So on the video files. So what will we do? So we have these structure. For example, if it is all these data, do you have any specific format? Nothing. Image means, do we have any specific formats? You just consider, you might have heard about the Oracle. We might have heard like rows and columns, tables. So that is a structured one. We have the columns and the values structured, whether it is a value or null values, but the structure is defined. But here, the audio file, the video file, the log, or the image files, they are not structured. They are unstructured data. So where do we get all those unstructured data? Through Facebooks. We are just sharing some photos. We are sharing some videos. So all those are unstructured data. Structured data means the tables and columns. In the Excel files, we have columns, we have values for that columns like that. And for the semi-structured, that XML files, it is in between the structured and the semi-structured. So with this internet usage, you are creating different types of files, which may be structured, unstructured, or semi-structured. So what are we going to do with all these structured, unstructured, and semi-structured? Where are we going to store those data? We'll be storing the data any storage media, or nowadays with the cloud. So the cloud, they will have all those collection of data which may be structured or semi-structured and unstructured, and those data are coming from these internet spikes and the usage of internet through mobile devices and the other devices. So how will we do all those things? Okay, so we have data, we have generating all those data, and we are storing those data, different types of data. But how will we analyze, or how will we get answers out of those data or queries? How will you query those data? So by using some tools. For example, if we take that Oracle, we have Oracle database. So we have Oracle, and that Oracle stores all kinds of data, and the SQL is the one language which is used to query those data and getting the answers. So that is the data management tools. But what is the basic advantage of using the data management tool is it will handle only the relational database, that is the structured one, which is with the rows and columns without any improper data or like that. So these data management tools, the traditional ones, they will handle and query only the relational databases, not with the unstructured one like the PDF, video, audio, the JPEG like that. They won't able to handle it. So how can we handle those unstructured data? There comes the big data. So big data is nothing but the large and complicated data sets. So these are the very large, and these are the unstructured complicated data structures, and we are getting it from various data sources, where this typical management tools, data management tool, cannot able to store and analyze it efficiently. So now you can able to understand what is big data. So why we are coming for big data? Because our traditional database management tool will handle only the structured one, but we are creating so many data which are unstructured, which are semi-structured. Those data can be handled only by the big data technology, not by the traditional management tool. So there comes the arise of big data. So what is big data? So big data is nothing but large and complex data sets, and the type which cannot be processed by the relational database, which cannot be stored by the relational database, at the same time cannot be analyzed by, processed by the relational database. And what are we going to do with that big data means we can able to analyze it. What are we going to analyze? So if we analyze those data, we can reveal some patterns, the trends and associations. And it's based on the human behavior and the interactions. For example, if we have a retail store, and we have large volumes of import and export goods, and we have to distribute those goods to different branches. And based on what factors you are going to distribute those branches or those data, based on at that particular branch, what is the need, how the goods are selling at that particular branch. So those analysis and those patterns you have to first identify. So that will come only based out of this big data. What are the characteristics? As I say, it's a large volume of data. Big data, it's a large volume of data. So it is an enormous amount of data. It's in zettabytes. And also it's not only based on the volume, how much velocity. Velocity means how speed the data is coming from. For example, if you take the Instagram, so within this 1 second, how many photos are getting posted around the world? Just imagine. So that is the speed of data that is coming in particular sources. So the speed of data that is getting generated, how many data, how much of data, how speed the data is getting generated, that is velocity. If the speed is very high and if it is getting generated more and more data, that is velocity. And variety of data. So variety means it's like as we see, in the last slide we saw, like we have generated different types of data like audio, video, and JPEG files and everything. So they are different types, both structured as well as unstructured data. So diversity of data types and sources. Veracity means that is, it's a large data sets. We have some abnormalities. Not all the data are in the correct format. So we will have some data format. Sometimes it is structured, sometimes it is not structured. So these are refers to the veracity. It's like the noise and abnormalities in the large data sets. And the value of data. So value of data means how much, how valuable that the data is. So not every data is going to be valuable. But if you're going to generate data for any enterprise companies or any for government decisions, then that data is going to be very valuable. So these are the factors that defines the characteristics of big data. So volume is nothing but how much of data is getting stored and used. And variety is what are the different types of data types that we are going to generate it for IoT devices. This IoT, you might have heard from the last session. And velocity, how much speed, how speed the data is getting generated. And variability means whether it is a data is a simple or a complex data. And value, what is the worth of the data. And veracity, how uncertainty the data is. So these are the characteristics that defines the big data. So if you say what is big data, it's not only the volume. So all these factors contributes the big data. It's volume, the speed, and the different types, and how much worth it is, and how irregularity the data is getting generated. So all these are different characteristics of big data. So if a data is going to be big data, it should fall under all these things, not only the volume. We shouldn't consider only the volume of data is a big. If the volume is big, then it is big data. Yes, it is one of the reason. It's one of the characteristics. But if you say the big data as a whole, it should be the entire thing. So where are we getting all these data from? So the sources of big data, where it is getting generated. So first one is the database. So obviously, even in the educational field, we are storing the student details or the informations or the tutorials or everything in some database so that we can able to retrieve it later. So the database and legacy documents, some government officials or the contracts or the tenders. So we are going to generate it through the legacy documents, which should be securely preserved. And from the social media. So as you know, what will happen if you pitch into the social media, how much data it is getting generated. And cloud. Now we are speaking about the AWS cloud, GCP cloud, Azure cloud. Why are we using all those things? Because instead of using the storage and maintaining the databases in our own organizations like an on-prem, we are going to rent it. It's like renting space for storing our things. Instead of going and buy the land and build one house and store also those data, now the storage spaces are already available. The structure is already available. We just go and give some money and make a rent out of it. It's like renting some house or like that. Similarly, just to store some information or storing a large volume of information, we are using this cloud. Not only for storing, we are providing other services as well. And web. So Google is the main platform where we are pitching into where to get any of the information. So how this Google is giving all those information, unless if they have a large repository to go and analyze and give the data as we requested. And another one is the Internet of Things. So what is Internet of Things? It's nothing but if you are connecting all your devices in your home through phones, that is going to be Internet of Things. It's a collection of devices where we can able to transfer data from your phone to the database. As in the last session, 11 was said, like for transferring the patient's critical informations to all the database. Similarly, for the BP and for the sugar or for the pulse or for some other important metrics, instead of go and note it down from the monitor, we can, if we connect it in any mobile devices, it will automatically get stored and nothing of the data will get deleted or we can miss like that. And social network, we know what a social network will do. So Facebook, Instagram, even WhatsApp, everything we are generating huge volume of data. And social influence, they're posting photos and videos each and every minute like that. And activity generated. So this is activity generated means if you might have heard about the flight tracking, even the flight informations. So this flight tracking, if you give that information, or even if you take Ola or Uber, if you're booking any day, any car or any auto, will be tracking where it is coming from and what is the current status, current location of this driver. So how is it possible? Because we are tracking it on the real time with their location. For that, how much each and every microseconds they are going to generate some data, because it's a movable and it is getting changed each and every millisecond. So just imagine just coming from one place to another place, how much amount of data it is getting generated just for 1 or 2. So just consider for the entire world, how much data it is getting generated. And data warehouse appliances, this is for storing the large data, either for commercial purpose or for educational or any other purposes. And in network and in-stream monitoring devices. So network devices we know. So if you are going to connect your device or your computer through any LAN and WAN, so the amount of data and the amount of network information, the config informations that are falling under is huge. So these are the different places where huge and complex data sets are getting generated. So the same thing here. So machine data, we are just getting it from the servers, sensor logs, networks, clickstream, application performance data. Through social media means we are getting data through Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And transactional data, the transactional data means it's a point of sales, like banking transaction, e-commerce. We are booking some products through Amazon or Myntra or like that. So this is transaction data. And sensor data means just a telemetry data. Like suppose if you are going through any hotels and the data and the lights on that hotel are sensor based. Only if you step into that in that hall area, it will switch on the lights. So based on their sense and also based on their availability of the object. So patterns and motions and other metrics. And public data. So this is the data that is generated by the government as well as our people. Just to have some ideas or some data knowledge like that. And commercial data, so we are getting it through the behaviors collected from surveys, warranty cards and subscriptions, etc. So these are the places where a large volume of data getting generated. Okay, this is what explained here. So in the government, how can we say that government is generating good data? Means through electricity, through agriculture, through insurance, through natural disasters. So in the natural disasters, what will they do? How will they generate this much of data? You might have imagined, for example, if the flood is going to come, how they will predict that you are the tsunami. You just take for tsunami. So they will have some magnitude of any earthquake or something. And if that magnitude is greater than some threshold value, then they will expect that tsunami and they will give some red alert to the areas where the nearby ocean. right? So how will they detect? Because it's based on the past history, it's based on the present data event that has happened. So for the past history and the present data, they will monitor what is the biometrical or the metallurgical values for that. So based on that, they will give you alerts and some informations about any natural disasters that is going to happen, and also the tax and health welfare and the political decisions. So our government, since we are not involved in the government actions deeply, we didn't know that how much amount of data they are dealing with. And another one is the healthcare. So healthcare, as we see, like the important credential informations and for shopping and the HR data and the research data means, suppose, for example, now we have got the COVID. So now variety of COVID has come. So even I have put like 4 or 5 injections for COVID vaccination. So it depends on the historical data and the analysis on the current scenarios. They will making the upgradations for each and every, and they're giving the updated injections, vaccinations. So it's based on the research data and the historic of patient data. Okay. So if you are going to how COVID, how will they identify the COVID? Based on the historic and based on the current and based on the past and all those analysis on the data. And the health tracker, we have smartphones nowadays, smart watches. They will identify what's your pulse, what's your heart rate, like that. So these are the places that we are going to generate a large volume of data, like in the government and in the healthcare and in the quality of life, in the day-to-day life, in the smart cities and in the weather conditions, and also the cities that are implementing IoT devices, and also the places where we are going at the telecommunications and banking sectors. Okay, so we saw what is big data and what are the sources of big data. We have the characteristics of big data and why big data is very important and how it is getting used. As I said earlier, the big data applications are widely used in the banks for transactions, online transactions. And once we are taking the money out of that ATM, we'll immediately get that messages in our phones. How that is possible? Because it's sending data immediately as soon as the event has completed, as soon as you got that money, like that. Similarly, the healthcare. So healthcare, we have plenty of data. So that is used to identify new illness and new remedies, and also to monitor, and every aspect we are using this big data only. And for the telecommunication, so for telecommunication, now 5G has come. So 5G, you know how speed the 5G network is. You just compare the 2G with the 5G, how improvement it has been. So for that, how much work they have been built, how much data they have analyzed, how much data they have increased. So in telecommunication and for energy, nowadays people are into windmill or people are into the solar panels. So instead of using the electric wires, people are going to implement in near future, the people are going to implement the solar panels. And the EV vehicles, you might have heard about the Tesla or the EV vehicles. What will they do? It will automatically identify where it is, and it will automatically identify if the charge is going to get low. It will suggest you like the nearby bank is, petrol bunk is there. You have to fill in your thing. And also even in Tesla, it's not even the driverless drive. So we don't need a driver. Just we will put the source and destinations, it will go directly there. So like that. So how much data it's going to access in order to implement that action, and also for the online shopping. So these are the areas where data is getting generated in a huge in volume and the variety of data. So in order to implement those operations, we need big data and big data analysis. Okay, so companies are using big data just to improve their operational efficiency and to provide better customer service. And for the marketing campaigns also they are using just to improve their revenues, just to improve their productivity. So companies are mainly using big data. And how will they do? Because they are analyzing both historical and the real-time data so that they will take some better decisions, so that they can be more responsive to what the customer needs and they can implement that actions alone. And the medical researchers also using this big data just to identify the disease and to diagnose the illness and medical conditions in patients, and also to up-to-date information about any infectious diseases like COVID or any viral flu or something. If anything going to come, they will alert the people just to take care of. So based on all those factors, this big data plays a vital and very base for all these applications. So far we have discussed only about the big data. So you know what is big data, what are the characteristics of big data, and how can the big data plays a vital role, and where are we getting the sources of big data, and where are the applications, and what are we going to get out of it, the advantages and the benefits of using big data. So any questions, you can post it in the chat so that we can move forward with the next topic. Any questions? Okay. Assume that you're just, you have got some gist about what is good data, big data. Okay. So the next one is the big data analytics. So you already know that we have big data. So big data is coming from any public data or the sensor data, or it may be structured or unstructured or semi-structured, whatever. So these are the various data sources where we are getting data from, and these data sources are creating a plenty of data with a variety of and varies volume of data, and with variety, veracity, speed and everything. So once we get all those data, this is a raw data. Whatever the data they have generated from the source, it's a raw data. We can't use the data as such. We have to refine it. So we have to refine it in the sense we have to process those data in such a way that it should be analyzed and processed by the analytical tools. So analytical tools are not capable of accessing the raw data. So they have some tools inbuilt so that the raw data has been processed and getting it ready in a format that can be processed further. So these are the these are the data analytics tools. So these analytical tools will process those raw data and getting in a format that it can be processed very well. So once they has been processed, they will go to various steps like structuring and linking the data to get predictive analysis or something. And finally, they will make some correlations and they will give some outputs. Output in the sense the results or suggestions or the opinion or the insights where we can use to cause the reduction, faster and better decisions, and to take new products and services. So this is where the data analytics is getting used. So big data. So analysis on big data, the tools or the techniques that are used to analyze the big data is the big data analytics. Okay, so big data analytics is the process of analyzing large and complex data sets. So extracting the meaningful information, actually I'm using two monitors, so that's why I'm just my face, and now only I realized that my face is turning towards my right side. I'm just seeing my monitor. Okay, so the big data analytics is the process of analyzing large and complex data sets for extracting meaningful information, identify hidden patterns, correlations, market trends, and customer preference. Okay, so as I said, the retail, you just take the Amazon. So it's a retail shop. So that it's not a retail shop, it's a platform where we can buy things from various retail shops. So if you take an Amazon, it's an e-commerce one. So it has a large volume of data, large products or the plenty of products. So where we can able to purchase it through online. So based on your interest, based on your search history, that Amazon will give you some suggestions. Like this is the thing that you have searched before. And if you want to proceed it further like that informations, they will ask. Excuse me, just let me drink some water, please. So big data analytics is to analyze a large and complex data sets just to extract some information. And from that information, you can create some new ideas and new suggestions, which will be helpful to improve your performance, like Amazon or if you see the Netflix. So if you go and see the Netflix, they're based upon the movies or the type of movies that you have watched, and it will suggest you some set of movies on the downstairs, like based on your interest, these are the movies based on that one. And also they will categorize the movies based on the genre, like either it's a comedy or it's a drama or a document like that. So how we are searching the information and how our interests are into that Netflix and watching the movies, they will suggest you for the new movies based on our interest. So it's a kind of making the people to use Netflix, right? So it's like how will they do? They will search the pattern and they will search the correlations. What pattern you're searching for the movie, what kind of movie that you're searching in for. So what are the correlations between the other movies? So they will suggest you that one. So this is the market trend, like 1, 2, 3, this is top 1, this is top 2, the top 10 movies they will give, and also the customer preference based on your interest. So all are possibles only based on analytics only. So Netflix also using the big data, and also they are using the big data analytics to study the viewers point of view. And in media and education also we are using big data. So in media, for storing large and huge volume of data like Facebook or Twitter, it's generating large and uneven format of data, right? So that is also stored and accessed only by the big data analytics. And for educations, nowadays education has become the online, so everywhere it is there. So even in a day-to-day normal in-person class, they will record a video and post it, and people, I mean the students are making use of it whenever they get time. And for the healthcare, manufacturing, and various government and non-government sectors, so all these places wherever the big data is there it should be a big data analytics. That's it. So without any big data, we can't able to do analysis. So wherever there is a big data, there should be some analysis that is happened by the big data analytics. So why big data is very important? Big data analytics are very important. So first thing is they have give meaningful insights. Why do we get the meaningful insights? What are we going to do with all those suggestions? Just to make some crucial decisions. For example, if the company is in a downswing, and if they're going to analyze what has happened, how did it happen, what is the main reason, what has happened before, like that. So all those meaningful insights we can get it by analyzing those data, so that we can make crucial decisions. So just for to take business critical decisions, and also to improve the customer service and streamline operations from retail to government. Just for example, like Amazon. So just to improve the customer service and to improve the business, how will they do? So based on the customer's interest and the activities the customer were doing, so they will get some idea and they will improve their sales and revenue. And to process unstructured data. So we have only the structured data, that relational database, normal traditional database to process it. But what happens if we have unstructured data? So to process unstructured data, we need big data analytics. And also to handle the real-time data requests like mobile phones or the Ola or Uber or the stock market, whatever. So those are the real-time data. So those requests can be handled only by using this big data analytics. And it helps the business to improve the revenue opportunities and to improve the efficiencies. And also the big data analytics one, it's to improve the digital marketing. So the marketing purpose also it is going to do. For example, if any new cinema is going to come, new film is going to it's going to release, means what they will do, they will just campaign everywhere, and also they will do the digital marketing. So that will also occupy some data in our database, right? So for digital marketing also, not only cinema but everywhere, just to improve the digital marketing, we are using that. And creating insights that helps to improve the products and services. And yeah, based on our pattern and based on analysis, so we can improve the sales and services. So all these places where big data and big data analytics plays a vital role. Without it, we can't able to do anything. So what is the need for big data analytics? So as I said, if you take any critical business decisions, that too it's very quickly, then we have to go for data analytics. And also if there is any performance issue, why that sales are very dull this month, and what happened? Even last year, the sales has become very big, right? And that was very prominent. But why? What happened to this year? So for those performance issue, what happened in detecting what happened and what will we have to do so that in order to achieve that goal like that, for that also we need data analytics. And also, if you're owning a company and if you're going to give a product to a customer, then first you must understand what are the requirements for those customers. For example, all these CDS, TCS, whatever the IT companies, they are going in for any of the vendor client. So first they have to understand what are the requirement of that clients and how we can able to deliver the product based on the client requirement. So for that, we need to analyze the requirement first. The requirement analysis means nothing but the data analysis only. So for deeper understanding of the customer requirement, so that we can able to deliver the good and efficient product to the customers. And what is the risk awareness and prevention? For example, the COVID, the flood, the earthquake. So all these we can able to identify based on the analysis of the past history and the present event, and we can alert the people so that we can able to avoid the natural calamities, just to prevent from the natural calamities. And for the better financial and performance understanding. So if you want to improve your performance and if you want to improve your product, service and sales, we have to analyze our data based on our current, and we can set our goals, and we can do some search insights and everything, and we can pitch in a new ideas, and we can able to improve their performance. And also it is cost reduction and profit increase. So since we have analytics on data, so we don't want to waste our time. We don't want to waste on the resources. So there will be a reduction in the cost, and also a profit will automatically get increased. So these are the places where we need to do data analysis so that we can able to achieve all these performance. Okay, so we have data, big data, and we have tools and techniques for analyzing those big data. But how does it work? So it based on same thing. So we have data means, as I said, we have data. So first we need to collect those data first. And what will happen next? We have to store those data in any way. So after storing those data, we have to first cleanse our data. So cleanse our data means the data should be cleaned in a processed in such a way that it should be ready for use by the database data analytics tool, because we have a raw data, right? So first data needs to be collected. So the data needs to be collected from the various sources like sensor, social media, transactional system. So they are too large. So it can be a structured or unstructured or semi-structured one. First, the data needs to be collected from the various data sources. Next, it has to be stored somewhere. So it has to be stored. So the HDFS is the one where it stores the big data initially. Now we are using it in the cloud or anywhere. The HDFS, typically, basically the HDFS. So the collected data should be stored, and The collected data should be processed so that it can be used by the data analytics tool. So we have to extract and process and remove the unwanted noises and everything. So it should be processed. Once processed, we can do the analysis out of it. So analysis means we have statistical analysis, machine learning algorithms, or visualization technique. Once we analyze those data, either we can give a bar chart or some suggestions or the opinions. And this is the stats that has happened last year. And now your stat is going this deep interior like that. So the trends and patterns we can able to give out of the data analysis. So collect data, we have to store and process, and we have to analyze later. And once analyzation has been done, we can make a decision out of it based on the insights and patterns we have found in the data analysis. So this is how the big data analytics work. This is a 5-step process: collect, store, process, analyze, and results. The same thing goes in this picture right now. And what are the types of, okay, so for what we have seen, like the big data and the types of big data analytics, what are the different steps that are involved in big data analytics. Okay, what are the types of analysis? So analysis means not only the only one analysis. So we have to analyze the data that has happened before, now, and in future. We have to take all those periods in our mind. So if anything happened, descriptive analysis. So if anything happened and you are going to deal and you are getting out of some insights out of it, means that is called a descriptive analysis. So deals with what happened in the past. Okay, oh, this is what happened in the past. Okay, let me see what our current trend is. So that's why. And diagnostic analysis. So something has happened in our business and that will deteriorate our business and the revenues and everything. So what will happen? So we have to deal why it has happened. It doesn't happen in the past. Oh, is it happened in the past? Then what are the remedy actions that we have taken for it? So based on that one, so that type of analytics is called diagnostic analysis. Just digging deeper into why it has happened like that. Predictive analytics. Okay, this is my revenue. After 5 years, my revenue should grow at least 20% from here. So what can we do in order to achieve that? So this analysis is only to predict what will happen in the future and how can we set our goals based on the future. And perceptive analysis. Prescriptive analysis is nothing but how can we make it happen? Okay, this is what we have to do. If we do this, then you might have achieved your goal. So these are the different types of, these are the major, mostly used type of analytics that have been used in the big data. Just dealing with the past, dealing with the present, why it has happened, and dealing with the future, how it's going to happen, and dealing with this is my goals. For future, these are the things that I need to do in order to achieve my goal, like that. So descriptive, diagnostic, and predictive, and prescriptive. So descriptive analytics actually deals with the past, what happened, and why it has happened. And diagnostic, it mainly deals with why it has happened in the real-time data sets. For example, it is the stock market. So why it has happened? So why my stock is in the negative? So all these business intelligence tools are the diagnostic one. And predictive analytics. Okay, if I am going to put something in SIP, okay, in next few years, oh, this might be my income. This might be my profit, like that. So predictive analytics. And prescriptive analytics means based on the data set and determines what actions need to be taken. How can we make it happen, like that. And next is the advantages of big data analytics. So these are the advantages. So first, it's very easier to identify the risk. Next one, based on the analytics, we can improve our productivity based on the insights that we are getting out of it. And it will reduce the cost because it is reducing your manpower, it's reducing your time, and it's giving appropriate and perfect answer, and take better decisions. And in the data-driven world, like IoT devices, it's only based on the big data analytics. And also what is happening in the market right now. So all these are the biggest advantages of using big data analytics. Examples. So where are we using all these big data analytics in our day-to-day life? For example, fraud management report. For example, someone is hacking in your Gmail account. And if the Gmail account has been hacked, then you will get a notifications in your mobile, like some devices are getting logged into your device. Is it you? Like that message you might have received. So based on that, we can able to analyze. So how will they do? So they will keep track of your device and the IP address and also the usernames and passwords and everything. And if someone is getting out of the sync, yeah, then they will just want to monitor and just want to warn you, like, is it you, like that. So fraud management report, just for example, I'm saying for the Gmail, but in the bank and everything, it's a crucial places we are using this data analytics for detecting the fraud. And live tracking, as I said, Ola, Uber, just to track the vehicles. And sales report, target and goals, like Amazon is using, Netflix is using, and everywhere it is using reports based on live data, like share market and everything, and generate alarms. For example, fire alarms in our home. So we are having fire alarms, and also in companies we are having fire alarms, and also in any persons that are entered into that company without any authorized access. So those things, even in the shops, we are getting that in front we'll be having some money, detection box is there, right? So just to alarm you whether it has been built or not. And Google Analytics report, how many users, even the Google are keeping, the internet is keeping track of how many data population has been, how many population has been increased in each and every second. So analytics report and healthcare, and also in the natural disasters like earthquake, tsunami, flood, like that. So these are the places where we are using analysis, because it is using all big data. So wherever big data, as I said earlier, wherever there is a big data, then we need tools and techniques to analyze big data to get some insights. So these are the different types of big data vendors, like Amazon and GCP, Google Cloud, and Microsoft Azure, Cloudera. So these are the different big data analytics that has been used. And apart from that, these are the vendors that are providing big data analytic tools. So they have the provisions to store big data because they have the cloud. And as along with that cloud, they are also having some tools and services where we can analyze those big data. So big data analysis is a process. We have different tools provided by different vendors. So Amazon is providing one thing, Google is providing another thing, and everything we have process for. We have tools and techniques to process those. These are the major ones. Okay, how do we build a big data analytics pipeline? So as I said, big data analytics means first we have big data. For that, first we need to store those big data. So this is a big data warehouse. The Azure, Hadoop, AWS, Presto, and Hive. So these are the places where we can store large and complex data sets. So the first step is storage. First step is data collection. So first we need to collect the data from various data sources, either from the web or from the data storage or from the data stream, live feed, like that. First we have to collect the data. We have to store it in a data warehouse. Once stored, we have to give some tools or the techniques to analyze those data. So Amazon is providing that. This is the data analytics tool, Amazon Redshift and PostgreSQL. And these are the different data analytics tools right now in our market to do analysis on the big data. So once it has been analyzed, we have Tableau, Power BI. So they will give you the bar charts or the whatever the insights that you are looking for, they will give you. So they will give you the dashboards. So this is how we have to build the big data analytics pipeline in current trend. Collect, store, analyze, and get the insights. So as I said, these are the different big data analytic tools, like Hive for storing. It's a data warehouse. Kafka for the live feed. For example, this Ola, Uber and everything. So we have to do the live feeding and live update on the data. So that is possible by the Kafka. Hadoop is the one thing where to store large volumes of data, and also they have the map reduce. So they will process those data efficiently. And this is the HBase is also it's specifically for the NoSQL database. And Spark is the one because in Hadoop we have the map reduce, but it won't process the real time. So the real time data is processed by the Spark, and the Talent is one of the integrating platform that connects all the devices together. And this Splunk is the log analysis platform. So if there is any error in a server or in the supercomputers or anything, so that is possible to be rectified by using some analysis on the logs, which can be done by the Splunk. Okay, so we have data, we have tools for analyzing the data. How do we know how accurate those analysis would be? We are getting some insights, we are getting some suggestions, but how do we know? How do we know how accurate those analysis will be? So first thing is we have to use the first and foremost thing is we have to use the right tools and techniques. And these are the things that we need to follow in order to get the accurate big data analysis. First, we need to use clean and pre-process our data. Suppose if your data itself very wrong, and if it is malfunction and if it is corrupted, we couldn't able to get and do the analysis out of it. So the data should be cleaned perfectly and it should be correctly formatted in such a way so that it can be used accurately by the data analytic tools. And also we have to use the appropriate algorithm. So using the right algorithm for the right requirement, that makes sense. So even though we have different tools, even though we have different analysis technique, based upon your requirement, we have to use the correct appropriate algorithm. And once we have got that value insights, we have to cross check whether it is, suppose if you are going to make the suggestions for improving your business purpose, means then only one validation is not enough. We have to cross check. We'll be doing our cross checks, right? So if anyone is giving some information, then if you are if you are not believing it, then what will we do? We will cross checks whether that information is correct or not. Similarly, if you are going to get some information, not only with the one feed, only one model analysis, you shouldn't be there. You should cross check just to increase the accuracy of the analysis. And also just predictions. See how to predict based upon aggregating all the predictions and monitor and evaluate results. So once your results has been achieved, you shouldn't be sit as such. We have to monitor the results, we have to evaluate results, and we have to go more. So we have to maintain and also monitor the results all along. So these are the ways that we can able to improve the accuracy of big data analytics. Even though we are getting some useful insights from the big data analytics, so there are some advantages and disadvantages as well. So advantages, if we speak, we can able to get, we can able to dig in and we can able to identify the hidden patterns and hidden suggestions, correlations, and the unknown market trends like that. And also based upon the business agility, how the data is increasing. In spite of increase in every data, we can improve our productivity. And this big data can help to identify the new business opportunities. For example, if people are coming to your retail store and they are looking for something, and if it is not found in that one, means based on your analysis and the feedback from the customers, he can implement that as well. So it's an add-on to your business, right? So based upon identifying the new business opportunities and the areas for improvement. So what are the disadvantages? As we know, this is the analytics tool and this is a huge volume of data. So what are the difficulties we are facing in dealing with a huge volume of data? The same goes with data analytics too. So because the data privacy. So once we are going to get into the data analytics, then it should be, we have to give all the data. For example, nowadays in Facebook, it knows even the Google. So if you are typing something, means, and if you are speaking something in front of someone, the Google hears everything. The Google hears everything. So that particular word you have spoken with your friend, that after that, if you come and see in your home, then after that, you will see some notifications or some information that is related to what you have spoken. So that is happening actually right now. So the Google is listening everything, and it's giving the suggestions or the informations based out of it. So the privacy is gone. So whatever we are speaking, it is going in and it is being published everywhere. And the data accuracy is also a very big factor for big data, because we have to clean our data, we have to process the data, we have to make use of the correct algorithms. Unless the data accuracy will be in the question. And to have this big data analytics, we need skilled person. Not all the persons can be able to do the big data analytics unless they are dealing with the data, as well as they have some training or some kind of experience in dealing with those big data and crisis. So we need skilled personnel, and also it's very expensive, because storing big data itself is very expensive, and we need tools to analyze those data. So it's very expensive and manage large amount of data. So these are the advantages and disadvantages. But on outage of this disadvantages are down to advantages. The advantages is in the higher rate. So we can go with it. So every day, everywhere there is both sides, right? We can go out of it. Okay. So, sorry. So we have we covered two topics, actually, big data and big data analytics. At least you get some idea what is big data. It's a huge volume of data. And what is big data analytics? It is the tools and techniques that is to store and that is to analyze those big data in order to take some good decisions, crucial decisions. So if you have any questions, you can shoot out. Otherwise, we can proceed to the next topic.
Some questions are posted in chat. What's difference between structure data?
One second. I don't see anything in the chat, ma'am, actually. If possible, can the participants can speak out right now so that I can answer those questions? Because I didn't see anything in the chat.
What is web analytics? How to use analytics and optimization? What is web analytics?
What is web analytics? Web analytics is nothing but if you are going to analyze the web, internet, in the digital media, that is the web analytics. For example, if one website is there, that will analyze all the websites, and that will keep track of how many customers are going and searching that website, like that. So that is web analytics. That we have web scraping. For example, if we have one paper, for example, it takes that our company, it's a telecommunication company. The telecommunication company, that major source of the telecommunication company is this location. How will we get that locations? We are getting it from various data sources. So one main data source is web. So in the web, we are getting the location. Any questions? Yeah. So Sri Kalaivani has asked, what's the difference between structured and unstructured? So you know Excel. So what is in Excel? You have rows and columns. So rows and columns means the values are defined. That is under that column, name, student name, that roll number, that subject marks or the grade or something. You will be having in the name of the column, you will have only that name. And the subject of that one, you the name of the subject. So it is defined, it is structured. We can go and get the details of a particular student. Unstructured means like if you take audio, how will you get the data out of an audio? That is an unstructured one. If it is a PDF, how will you get? Because it's the line, they will have some columns, they will have images in between, they will have some pictures in between. So how will you get? So it is not defined, it is not structured, it is not correct one, it is which follows the regulations. So the structured means which are defined in a particular format, which are very easy to understand, but unstructured. And if you're going to get the data out of it, like an image, what are you going to get out of it? For example, in PDF, in image, suppose if you are having a pamphlet in an image, we are going to take the text out of it. We are able to do it, right? So that is unstructured. Structured means defined, unstructured means it's not defined on any particular regulations, not a particular format. It is like the images or the audio or the video files. Okay, web analytics are nothing but the analysis on the web. How do we use those web analytics? So the same big data analytic tools only it's going to use for web analysis, but it will analyze only the web. It's particularly only the web. That is what web analytics. And how to optimize. So whatever the data, whatever the techniques that are going to improve your big data analytics, that also will come for all those techniques and the types that we are going to see it in next slides. Those optimization techniques, we can use it for the web analytics as well. What is the difference between cloud computing and big data analytics, real-time examples? So cloud computing are nothing but we have a cloud. The cloud is what for? Like AWS, Azure, Microsoft, GCP, like that. So we have cloud for storing those data. And the cloud is also providing all the services as well. Like if you need a software, they will give it as a package. If you need any platform or any infrastructure, that is also given as a package. It's like if it's ready to go, if we are they have already built a home based on our interest, that single home or multiplex home or 2-bedroom home or 3-bedroom, like that, based on upon our interest, we can go and live in. That's it. Only thing is we have to buy. So similarly, the same thing. So the cloud is giving everything, but based upon our requirement, we have to go and fix it out of money. That's it. And big data analytics, since that big data cloud is storing large volume of data, that data needs to be analyzed. So there it comes the big data analytics. Same. I think that's all with the questions, and I move on with the next topic actually. So we have big data, we have big data analytics, and this big data should be analyzed by the tools and techniques which are given by the big data analysis, and they will give you the smart home or the smart cities. You know what is urbanization? So urbanization is nothing but, it's nothing but moving the people from the rural area to the city side. Why the people are moving over there? First thing, because now the farming is outlanded based on the natural flood and the drought and something, it's not steady. And also people are more interested in moving to cities just to offer some opportunities, because and also the lack of employment is there in the rural, and also entertainment and education and exposure. So these are those some of the factors. These are some of the factors that makes the people to move from rural to city. And what city is providing? See, in city, we have more opportunities. We have more jobs. We have better pay. We have just built-in houses with a lot of amenities. We have entertainment factors like mall and park or beach or something. And it's a modern living. And also, even for better college or for better schools, we are moving from our home to another place, and also for the business needs. So these are some of the factors that pulls the people from rural area to the city area. So the process of migration from one place to another place, from rural area to urban area, is called the urbanization. So why do these are the factors that makes the people to move, and these are the factors that pulls the people to move from here to there. Nowadays, people are moving from the rural area to urban area. For example, around 57% of the world population, they are now living in urban, or the places where the people are living, that becomes urban, that becomes city. So day on day, the year by year, the number of people or the percentage of people moving from rural to urban is been increasing a lot. in this slide, you can see that India, it's in the 5th positions where the people are moving from rural to India, where the city, this is the urbanizations in our India. So where the Delhi places the first down. Only 2.5% of the people are living in the rural. The rest of them, almost majority is there in the city. So Delhi is a city. Whereas Tamil Nadu, half of the people, only 48% are in rural urban area, and 51 of them, it's still in rural population. What's a smart city? So our topic is using big data analytics to optimize urbanization in smart cities. So before that, we just go for first, what is a smart home? So smart home, in the sense, I am in even in India itself, people are becoming to implement the smartness in their home. For example, the doorbells. If someone is coming here, we can monitor who is coming in our home. Even though if you are not in our place, even though if they are not inside your home, you can just see who is inside your, who is knocking the door, or who is ringing the bell in front of the camera. So we can monitor that by fixing the camera in front, and we can monitor it with the internet just by looking into your phone, even though if you are not in the home inside. And also the moisture. If you are having a temperature or the AC, what will happen? We can monitor our AC or the control our temperature in the AC just with our phone itself. And similarly, the CCTV cameras, the motion sensors, the thermostat. If you want to change the temperature, we can have thermostat. And also the lock is auto smart lock is there. Suppose if you forget to lock your door or something, or even the car, we can just lock it with our phone itself. And smart TV, as you know, this is very much nowadays it's enhancing a fast. And the refrigerator. So in refrigerator, one of my friend whom they are having a refrigerator, we can see what is inside the refrigerator. So if they go, and so I will make a list and go to the grocery shop. But what she will do, she will just open the phone and just see what is inside that refrigerator and just pick it up. So how fast that technology is improving. That's what I just want to say. And lights. So based on the person's presence, you can switch on the light and switch off the lights. Even we have that Alexa, switch on the lights, Alexa, switch off the lights, like that. And smoke alarms. We have fire alarms in our companies. We have washing machine. Washing machines can be operated in our phone itself. So we can set the timer. So if we have some electricity bills that can reduce that particular time, we can switch on at that time itself, just by with our phone itself. And also open close sensors. Just we are using that this one open close sensor. Just if you want to get rid of the air or something, we can use that sensors. It depends upon our motion activity. So in home itself, we can able to implement this much of smartness. So what will happen if we implement the same thing in our city? So what is a smart city? What do you think? What is a smart city? Now in Chennai, we have implemented a lot better, but it's very difficult to implement in Chennai because our population is very big. So it's very difficult to implement this, but that other factors are also there, but it's slowly improving. That's what I can say. So first thing is smart educations. We can have laptops. We can have phones. We can submit our assignments or homeworks in the laptop itself. We can get the results in the internet. Just inside. Before we used to get the numbers, the 10th results numbers in the newspaper. We'll go and check our number. Now, within a second, if you type in your register number, you will get the results. And also the study materials and everything. Smart transportation. Smart transportation means, so instead of using our own public, our own car or something, which will increase the traffic, we might have used the metros. In here or in the other countries, we have metros, and in Singapore, they have implemented one rule that this particular day, this particular area person should not use the car. This particular day, they have to use only the public transportation, like that, so as to minimize the traffic as well as the pollution. So in order to provide that one, they have to provide a smart transportation. So anywhere from here to there, anywhere, there will be some commute. So providing smart transportation. And the smart infrastructure. Smart infrastructure, we have a community apartments where they do have all the amenities like a gym or the play area or whatever the community halls, the smart infrastructure and smart buildings, everything is connected. Everything can be monitored through phones. Every data can be collected. And the smart energy. So when there is a person, the lights will switch on. Even you might have noticed in the hotels as well. So, and smart home. So if you start with the home, automatically the city will get developed. And smart health. Every patient's informations as well as their crucial metrics are monitored and maintained in a smart way. And smart industries, like the companies that are implementing smart, not everything is manual, everything is automated now. And smart agriculture. So we are not, nowadays, we are not using the manual power to sow or to get rid of the unwanted one. So we are having some machines, we are having everything in our hand just to do it within 5 or 10 minutes like that. So smart agriculture. So if we implement all these, then the city will get smart. And if the city is getting smart, then the people from rural area will come to urban area. Okay, smart cities. As I say, the smart cities comprises of IoTs. You know what is IoT? Internet of Things. Just we are connecting all the devices through internet. For example, in phone, as I said, we can connect our phone with our car, with our fridge, with our TV, with our AC. So all these different electronic equipments are connected in our phone, and we can communicate with those devices based on the internet. If we have an internet, we can control everything like that. And smart agriculture, the same thing as I said in the previous one. So open data, retail smarting, retail shops, and in smart cars and smart health in the government and everything. And one thing is, I want to mention this smart grid. Now people are implementing solar panels. Even in Chennai, they have started using the solar panels instead of the normal electricity. So this will reduce our cost as well as it will reduce our pollution as well. So these are the factors that makes a city a smart city. City is different, smart city is different. So smart city is nothing but a city that uses technology and data to improve their infrastructure, public services and resources, just to improve the quality of life. That's it. And what is the main goal for the smart city is to make it convenient. We have to effectively use the energy, and it should be pollution free. And we have the advanced commute. It should be safe for all the people. And also it should promote the economic growth, and the government should be better. And government only is going to provide our smart city, first of all. Okay, this is a smart city generic smart city environment. We have government, retail, the same thing, but in perspective with the smart, just to the vision will give you some more understanding. So that's why I put this slide. The same thing, it goes with the smart security, smart industry, like solar panels. We have the people which are smart, and we have highly advanced techniques and the equipments in the hospitals. We have the homes that are filled with, that are controlled and monitored through our phones. And we have smart mobility. Smart mobility in the sense, before that, if we want to pick an auto, we have to go and ask for auto in the auto stand. Now what will happen? So even in the phone, mobile, we can just book an auto or taxi in our phone itself, just within a second. And also we can able to monitor it. So this is the advancement we are just getting it. That is happening in Chennai. That is not happening in some other rural area. So that is what the smart cities mean. What are the features of smart cities? So one is the infrastructure. Another one is the governance and services, environment, transportation, economy, and the people and living. So, you know, the same thing that I have discussed, I have just given it in a sentence, but the same thing. Okay. How big data is related to smart city? So big data is related to smart city because the big data is data that are getting it out of the internet, the internet, if we have the internet, we can connect all the other devices using sensors. And if we connect all the other devices, it will create a huge volume of data, which is big data. And if the volume of data is specifically meant to improve the city, that is called smart city. So without big data, the smart city is not going to happen. So from this, you can able to understand what is the vital role with the big data and the big data analytics. So just to access the public transport, you can able to know when the train is coming, what is the status of the train. We can lively track that position, and also the manage the traffic. You can just Google Maps. You can see what is the position. Is there any traffic out of it, like that, and also the usage of the power supply, and smart education and improvement of the quality. So this smart city uses big data to implement. What is harnessing big data analytics to optimize urban planning in smart cities? So you know big data, you know big data analytics, what is smart cities and what is urbanization. Just to connect those dots, that's it. So we are using big data and big data analytics just to implement the smartness in the cities. So for that, what are we going to do? How can we improve those big data analytics and to optimize our smartness? So this is what the questions asked by Kavita. So Kavita, what are the tools that are used for big data analytics? So this is for you, actually. So first one is Internet of Things. In the last sessions, you might have heard about the Internet of Things. So Internet of Things means nothing but collecting the devices. Connecting the devices, various devices are connected together so that they can exchange data to the device and we can monitor it. So based upon that monitoring, we can control those devices. So this is the vital role playing in big data analytics and wherever the internet and big data is there. And another one is the big data analytics tool. So this tool is to analyze those big data, and we have to identify and getting some information, the future predicts, and what has happened, why it has happened. So those things are made out of analysis. So something happened in a home, we must just speak to our relations. Oh, why it has happened? Oh, that day also it has happened like that only. Oh, maybe in the future it will happen like that. So based on that analysis of those information, we can able to predict what is that. And the next thing is artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence are now in peak, actually. So the chat GPT and other applications, if you give the requirement, it will give the results out of it. Even if the code, if you want to type like I want a SQL code for this one, I want to have the Python code for this one, that is happening in the artificial intelligence. So just to mimic the human behavior, that's it. And also the machine learning and 5G connectivity. So everything is data. The data should be transferred fastly and efficiently in the real time, unless we won't be able to happen it efficiently. So 5G connectivity, we need 5G connectivity. We need that communication so that it can transfer the data in a real time without any delay, so that the control or the informations will be very accurate. So these are the tools that we are using just to further optimize the big data analytics. One is Internet of Things, big data analytics tool, artificial intelligence just to program those one, and machine learning, and 5G connectivity just fastly send the data to the other, and renewable energy, like you are using the smart grids, sensors. So those wind and solar power and everything, they can be integrated so that we can manage the electricity problem. So before in Chennai, we used to have like the power cut off like 3 to 4 hours, especially in summer. Now it is not happening and all because there is an improvement. So they are using some different technologies. And also now we can pay the bill in online itself. So how it is happening? They are getting digitized. Improved storage. We need a media. For that, we can use the cloud. We can have the cloud to store our large and complex data. And the governance. So based on the government, actually, because the governance means the rules and regulations. So the rules and regulations plays a vital role in implementing the smartness in cities, because without any rule we couldn't able to save it and we have to preserve it. And now the new word is coming like quantum computing. So quantum computing is nothing but the same thing like supercomputer. It's a quantum computer now. It's a more processing power. That's it. So these are the IoT devices. So these are explained in detail actually. So these are IoT devices where we connect all the devices together and we can able to control our laptop. We can book our tickets in the airplane and we can buy any shopping, and also we can monitor everything. So these are Internet of Things. So the things that are connected through internet, the devices that are connected through internet, so that we can exchange information. And big data analytics, we have the tools. And these are the artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence, you see in next 5 or 10 years, this plays a very vital role. Maybe in future, even in America, one of the restaurant is having a robot to serve the dishes. So the artificial intelligence plays a vital role in near future. It's going to be a big one actually. And smart grid. So instead of using the electrical wires or something, the most traditional way to improve the electricity, we can have the solar panels, wind power. And also we have become, instead of petrol, we are becoming the electric vehicles has come, and houses and everything. So it's all the smart grid and cloud services. So we need some means to store those data, right? So it will give a package software. For example, if we have, it's like having a WhatsApp. So if you install that WhatsApp, you can make use of that services. If you have the platform means it's a Google is a platform. So that platform, we can have any services, what kind of information, it's a service. For example, I'm just saying, and for the infrastructure, this is giving both infrastructure, platform and software. All these cloud, it will store and process every data. And 5G network. So for the drone and even for the Trump shooting and everything that had happened before that election, right? So that is possible only, that is identified possible through the drone, that robotic surgery, like laser, robotic for manufacturing, and also in the in Air Force or in the war, during the war. So not every places human can go and do it. So we need some robotics to make the testing or something. So for that, we need 5G network, and we need the last, the one we used, right? Smart bins. We need sensors. So the sensors will identify what is the quality and what is the amount. Based upon that, we can fill. Based on even the water tank. In the water tank, we have implemented that sensors. So based upon the level of that water, we have to switch, and it will give a monitor. I mean, it will give a message like your water level in the tank is this much. You have to switch on the water motor like that. So sensors. So all these things, it's a future of smart cities, smart living, government, everything. So these are the same things that I have discussed before, just to have it in the case, in case if you want to go through it. So what is the impact means? Because we have jobs, facilities, and culture, and cost of living, and because our farmland is getting lost. So that's why we are moving for this one. What are the challenges? Challenges means first thing is the finance. So financial, we couldn't able to afford it. So that's why it's getting delayed in India. Why those smartness? And another one is central to state government coordinations. So we know about our politicians and everything. So we know what is the background going on in spite of finance. Only, even if it's better if we get the half of the finance that has sanctioned for smart city. And the plan should be there. It should be planned perfectly so that it can be implemented. We should go and get the tender and make a plan like that. You shouldn't do that. Just have a plan, then get the tender. And what is the time? We couldn't able to attach the time plan for it. And also the availability of facilities. We have not adequate skilled manpower as well as training and the database and advanced technology. That these are some of the challenges that affecting the implementation of smart cities. In future, these are those things that we can able to maybe in 10 years. All these things will be possible in our Chennai or in India, at least in some cities. We can start from that. Any queries? Sorry, it took some more time actually. Any queries? Okay. Lata ma'am?
Yes, Larry.
Yeah.
Any
it's
queries
finished.
from the participants? I think no questions in the chat box also. Can mind up.
Okay.
Really like thank you on behalf of Takshashila University and Faculty of Engineering and Technology for your enlightening session on the role of big data in smart cities with real world examples. It's a nice presentation and thank you once again.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, ma'am. Actually, it was nice sharing my thoughts with you. And I have shared my mail ID here. So whoever have any doubts, I would be happy to help. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for your patience. I know this is a late time and it's a time for your dinner and everything. So I know you might have cook and side by side you're hearing all these things, but it's okay. I can understand. But very nice to have the conversations with you guys. But and thanks for the persons who are asking questions to me. That means a lot actually. I at least I know that some people are asking some doubts, something. So I'm just delighted actually. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for the opportunity first of all.
Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you. If you have any doubts and if you want to have that presentation, Lata ma'am will share you or something. And if you have any doubts or any conversations you want to have with me, just free to ping me. That's it. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Are you
Lata
going
ma'am,
to share the
can
feedback,
you?
ma'am?
Yeah, ma'am. I'm going to share it now.
Sridhar.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
ma'am.
thank
I'll
you.
share it now. Participants, kindly fill the feedback and kindly register your name while entering the link with your registered name. Again and again, I'm repeating, kindly make sure of it so that the attendance will be marked for you people. Thank you. Now I'll post it in the chat box. Kindly fill it.